and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to day 21 of Crummy's Christmas countdown. 4 more beers to go until, I was going to say the big day, but the big sleep before the big day, I guess. But yeah, there's only 4 more, and these really are the 4 that I've been most interested in, I hope. I hope they're not going to be a letdown, but let's get straight on with it. Back in the Rudolph jumper, what beer is behind door number 21? Here we are then, Fairytale of Brew by Brew, of course, a gingerbread milk stout, which it just feels all the more Christmassy to me. It's 4.9%, and well, if Brew can do one thing, it's a theme. So given that Christmas is a theme, I'm expecting big things from Brew on this one. Yeah, I mean, they need no introduction really, so let's just get straight into it. Here's a quick look at the can. Fantastic artwork, as you would expect. Will it focus? It has focused. You can see on there the description, name, and then look at all that detail. I mean, honestly, they really do it like no other. Fantastic looking stuff. Let's get into it. It's dark, which is a good sign. I have to say, the aroma at a distance on this is fantastic. Now, the whole can doesn't fit in this glass, but this is a good glass for getting some proper aromas off, so I thought, why not? You know, we can just do a double pour. It's got sweetness, heaps of sweetness just floating around in the air around me now. It's nearly pitch black. There's a tiny bit of red bleeding through at the bottom, but not much. Kind of one finger, light caramel coloured head. It's doesn't look to be going anywhere, to be honest. Just looks very appealing and quite silky. Alright, aromas. Oh, I mean, the milk quantity on this is just, oh, it smells buttery, butterscotch. Werther's Original Sweets, it's that, it's really that bag. And I know it's meant to be a gingerbread milk stout. There's a suggestion, I guess, of some ginger in there, but it's not super obvious on the aroma to me. It's sitting much more in that kind of butterscotch territory, but that's not a bad thing. So yeah, that's really all to say about the aroma. Let's do this. Cheers. Merry Christmas. The flavour is fantastic, has to be said. The sweetness, the well-roundedness of the flavour, still much more in butterscotch territory. There's a bit of ginger leaking through, but it's much more, as I say, still in that sweet confectionery kind of state. It's a little thin and a little drying on the back end though, I have to say. It's like the flavour's there, but maybe the quality in the beer's, I don't know about lacking, but maybe it's not what they were hoping for. I know it's only, what was it, 4.9, but it's got heaps of flavour, nice amount of roastiness in there. Really quite complex taste, but it's just a little bit thin and a little bit short-lived, I guess. Head's dissipated now. Let's top it back up. Got all the goodies in there now. The head is returned, so let's do this. Top to bottom taste test. Initially, almost no carbonation. Really sweet on the front of the tongue. Second phase, pretty nondescript really. It's got that stout minerally element to it, minor hints of kind of a metallic taste, but it's not very strong at all. Hits the back of the throat, a bit more bitterness, a bit more sharpness, a bit more roastiness from those dark malts. And on the swallow, big flavour spike, heaps of that butterscotch cream. The gingerbread is there, but it always feels like it's in the background. It never really pops, and you get kind of a second wave of deep dark roastiness. Never quite goes to coffee though, or licorice, or any of those default stout things. It stays very much in that sweeter state, if you like, despite the richness being there. It's an interesting beer. It's a very nice beer, but I think half the journey with this is actually the aroma while you're drinking, which is something I said about the beer yesterday, in fact. It has that kind of a thing. It's much more, it's really sweet on the nose. Doesn't quite translate all the way through in the taste, but it's a solid beer. Don't get me wrong, it is a solid beer. Just, they could have had a bit more, I think. Right, let's take a look at the can. So, Fairytale of Brew York 2021. They have made this before. This is this year's version. Gingerbread milk stout, 4.9%. Incredible artwork, as we've already seen. And on the back, Fairytale of Brew York 2021 takes a warming ginger spin this year. Rich gingerbread, cinnamon spice and heaps of creamy vanilla combined for this year's annual Christmas stout. Be sure to check out this year's other seasonal brews, including Nightmare of Brew York, a peanut, pecan, maple and vanilla imperial milk stout. That sounds alright. Dreams of Brew York, a cherry and cranberry pastry sour, and BA Barrel Aged Nightmare of Brew York. So they've done a Barrel Aged Nightmare of Brew York. Okay, well, maybe we got the weak one in the bunch then, I'm not sure. But the malts are Pale, Crystal 150, Torrefied Barley, Cafe for 3, Malted Oats, Crystal 400 and Chocolate. Carafa 3, sorry, that should have said. They've rated it 3 out of 5 gingerbread men. They always do this arbitrary rating system on the back of their cans. Look, if you can see that. So 3 out of 5 gingerbread men. It's not quite that gingery. So interesting, just going back to their description. It talks about gingerbread, cinnamon spice, and then heaps of creamy vanilla. I'm just getting all that creamy vanilla, that kind of vanilla butterscotch Werther's Original thing. That's really dominant for me. I'm not getting a lot of the others. The ingredients are barley, oats, lactose, hops, vanilla and yeast. Interesting that there's no additives for the ginger, according to the ingredients, which might explain it. It's a bit strange that it's not listed in the ingredients. They reckon it's not very hoppy, correct. They say it's a tiny bit fruity. Maybe. They say it's pretty sweet. Yeah, that's accurate. Mouthfeel is low, so that's fine. Bitterness is low, true, and malt is high. Yeah, I agree with that. They do always do this little nice chart look, as you can see. I think I agree with what they've said there, to be honest. For this one, come join us at our tap room in York. All their normal details. Stuff in several different countries because they do export this. 2.2 UK units in this can, so 440ml can. And yeah, that's about it. I'll be honest, I'm kind of wishing I'd bought some of the other festive beers now, because this one, it's very nice. And actually, I'm being overly critical. It is one of the better Christmas beers I've had, if I'm honest. It's got that there. It's just that Brew York come with such a reputation behind them that if you're going to say this is properly gingerbready, then it might be turning. I'll tell you what, now it's warming up. The gingerbread man's starting to arrive, I have to say. Tip for this beer then, don't have it really cold. This wasn't super cold. This was at my fridge at about 5 degrees. I reckon you want a bit more with this. Just heat it up that little bit and all of a sudden you'll get a heap of extra flavours. Cinnamon, not really showing its head yet, but maybe as it warms up that will be the case. But yeah, maybe a bit overcritical with this beer, I feel. I really like it. I would actually buy it again, dependent on the price, that has to be said. But yeah, I like it. I just think, well, I know Brew York can do better, so well, let's see if we can find some of those other Christmas offerings and see how they stack up. And that really is all I have to say about it. So as always, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like it. If you haven't already subscribed, if you will be so kind, and I'll catch you tomorrow for day 22. Cheers.